talking about how we're going to help people get water.
That this amount of drawdown is going to make the Blue Hole go dry, the River run dry,
No.
Jacob's Well go dry, 6,000 wells go dry.
There's not that much left. It's only 9,000 acre feet over 50 years. If you take all the exempt that could be here in 50 years, it's pretty much gone. The Hayes Trinity Groundwater Conservation District meeting, Thursday, October 21st at around 6:05. Rick, if you'd roll call. If you'd like to speak, please sign a form. You have some forms back there.
Members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk tonight about the management plan. I want to read a statement and then I'll give you a copy of it. Western Hayes County is facing a water supply crisis. During the mild drought of 2008-2009, 55 water wells were reported going dry. Jacob's Well stopped flowing. The Blanco River was down to a trickle. Onion Creek was dry. The famous Blue Hole swimming hole was almost stagnant. But citizens of the area realized that water is precious, it must not be wasted, and we must plan for a sustainable future. During this same period, the Hayes Trinity Groundwater District and other groundwater districts in the GMA 9 were debating a desired future condition for the Trinity Aquifer. The GMA 9 directors, including Hayes Trinity, agreed upon a theoretical 30-foot average drawdown or decline of the aquifer, which within the Hayes Trinity would allow a 50% increase in groundwater pumping over the 50-year planning period set by the Texas Water Development Board. The huge problem for the Hayes Trinity is the number and class of wells which are exempted from permitting and the expected growth of exempt wells within the 50-year planning period. There is a very real probability that with the population growth that is expected within western Hayes County, the pumping rate from permitted and exempt wells could far exceed the ability of the aquifer to recharge from normal rainfall and runoff. This would result in extensive well failures, springs and creeks going dry, and limited flow in the Blanco River, except during rainfall events. We must collectively take the necessary actions to see that this does not happen. The Citizens Alliance for Responsible Development has circulated a petition throughout Hayes County calling citizens' attention to the crisis we are facing. The petition calls for the Hayes Trinity Board to reverse its endorsement of the 30-foot average aquifer decline and the implied increase in groundwater pumping and support a decline of not more than 5 feet. The bottom line is that this area must take measures that are difficult and in some instances costly. These measures are: 1. Reduce the waste of groundwater by water supply companies to no more than 10%. Require new homes to be built with rainwater collection systems for domestic supply. Encourage xeriscape landscaping and discourage vanity ponds. Restrict installation of lawn sprinkler systems. Legislate larger lots to reduce demand on the aquifer and enhance aquifer recharge. Bring surface water to those areas with organized, well-maintained distribution systems to supplant the use of groundwater. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk, and I'll give you a copy of my statement. I'll also give you a copy of the petition that has been signed by the citizens throughout Hayes County.
We're extremely concerned about this management plan. I won't go through everything, basically because Jim McMeans has, basically raised the same concerns that we have. So I'm here to echo those concerns. A year ago was a very bad drought. We heard from some of the homeowners associations that the wells were very close to bottom, and we were talking about how we're going to help people get water.
I'm a director of the Wood Creek Property Owners Association. In our association, we have over 800 homes and 2,000 people that are serviced by Aqua Texas. Our association has passed a resolution concerning setting the desired future condition at 30 feet. We feel that this will be mining water and will have a detrimental effect on our community. Therefore, we are asking that you please revise the desired future condition for the Hayes County portion of the Trinity Aquifer to limit future decline by the year 2060 to less than 10 feet.
Nobody else. Last chance. And I'd like to challenge a few of those representations. First of all, I believe you've already addressed the newspaper article, okay? I also called the editor, and apparently this was sent in by the former manager of the Hayes Trinity, and he printed it up as coming from Hayes Trinity Groundwater Conservation District. It's a little disturbing, and it casts some doubt on the validity of any petition where people thought that Hayes Trinity was actually soliciting signatures on this thing. That's number one. Number two, the reason I'm here tonight is because it's something I saw in the roundup. I saw this claim that Hayes Trinity had previously received a petition from the city of Wood Creek. The Wood Creek Property Owners Association was going to present tonight. Friendship Alliance claiming, well, they appear to claim that they represent 1,000 residents. First of all, Friendship Alliance is a corporation. It claims to be a 501c3 corporation. It represents other corporations. It does not represent any residents of any HOA other than its board of directors. And frankly, the people that Friendship Alliance has on its website, 2 of those HOAs do not even exist.
I was just going to say that we really do have, I really love these recommendations that Mr. McNeese presented, but we have very little authority to do some of these things. We do need to do something about combining groundwater, wastewater, and surface water, so we'll all be able to manage this. And nobody has a handle on that. Water is water around here.
The public doesn't have a copy of this draft management plan. I wanted to read the guiding principle, which is at the beginning of the plan. The district has a goal of sustainable management of the Trinity Aquifer, including maintaining base flow contribution to streams during a repeat of the drought of record, and in critical depletion areas and management zones at a rate of spring base flow that maintains a sound ecological environment. The guiding principles will serve as a basis for the possible development and adoption of district policies and rules to achieve these goals. Guiding principles include, but may not be limited to, manage the use of the aquifer for the benefit of the people of the district while maintaining sufficient quantity of water in the sub-aquifers to maintain spring and streams during periods of drought. And I do want to say with those principles, they do focus on the protection of the existing users, the existing wells, and maintaining the spring flows and base flows to our creeks and rivers.
You realize our management plan, the drawdown is 1% a year. It's 1.04% a year. 52% increase over 50 years. Frankly, I'm worried it's too low. You know, but it's 1% a year. So if we adopted meaningful legislation as a group, even Barton Springs, the mighty Barton Springs Edward Aquifer approved this, and they're mining our water. You know that, right? You'll admit that. Kirk Holland admitted that in the meeting.
Well,
they're drilling through the Edwards to get to our water.
And what I'm saying is that I don't think that is a responsible policy. I think it's something that needs to be changed, because I think that a sustainable policy, you don't take out more than goes in, or you end up 50 years from now, our kids aren't going to have water here most of the time, or they're going to be paying a heck of a lot for it to have it piped in from somewhere, and we're not going to have these streams and rivers. And if you look at the data, if you look at Henley Well, if you look at Mount Baldy, we're losing about 2 feet a year in the aquifer.
No, we're not. That's not true. It goes right back up. It's not 30 feet across the board. It's 20 feet in this area, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 to 33 feet, depending on where we are in the rain cycle, whether we're in a drought or a wet season. So it's frankly a very conservative plan. And 8 of the 9 districts all agreed on it after 5 years of research.
I think you need to take this to the Water Development Board. That's where the issue is. It's not with this board. This board did not make that number. We did not make 30-foot drawdown. That was GMA 9. I was at the meeting, and I agreed to vote whatever the majority was. They already had the votes. I could have voted -50. It would still be a 30-foot drawdown in this area. And I know people don't like that. I know you want me to fix it. I can't fix it. GMA 9 or the Water Development Board is the one where we need to be. Everybody makes it sound very simple. It sounds very easy to walk up and say, here, fix it, change it, stop the water pumping. I can't. The Water Development Board, I guess, could. If you protest today, if you go to the next level, we'll do what we're told from the state.
And this community wants a lower DFC, and we bring that to the GMA, and they model that, then that can become our groundwater number. Very first report that was done on the Hill Country Pigma for Hays County said 1,800 acre feet was the sustainable amount of water to be pumped if we were going to maintain these springs. Our current management plan calls for 3,700 acre feet, but we're pumping at least 5,600 acre feet now, and possibly there's close to 1,000 acre feet that's unreported.
We never have and never will guarantee if you drill a well here, you will have water. And if you go to this many feet, you'll have water. We can't.
But it's our responsibility to do the best we can
It
to
is.
manage it.
That's why we're doing the groundwater management plan.
I just think until that time comes, I think we need to maintain where we are now, not hand out any permits until we
We
get
haven't
that.
handed out any permits.
I appreciate that, and I
we-
think that's the right position.
Right.
So I'm not criticizing about that. I'm talking about how we're going to protect this in the future with a policy that is sustainable, not one that mines the aquifer. And
But that is a Water Development Board issue.
no, that's a
And you
groundwater
need to take it-
conservation district.
Sure it is,
issue.
but it is the whole, you cannot, if you just get us to go to 0, and Barton is taking 30, Blanco is taking 30, we're on an island at 0, and everybody around us is going, thank you. They aren't taking any water. Get it, it's coming right through there. We'll get it while we can. If you don't think that's a real problem, I mean, that doesn't seem like a problem to you? If we don't get Barton, why isn't Barton in here saying, let's get 0? Yes, we have an issue with groundwater in this area. But these signatures were presented to us, and I will look at them. I will try to go through them and see if I can figure out if they live in our district or don't.
That this is damaging to the aquifer, not because of any story they heard about you or anybody else on the board.
Okay.
They believe that. Can anybody on the board, can anybody say that this amount of drawdown is going to make the Blue Hole go dry, the River run dry,
No.
Jacob's Well go dry, 6,000 wells go dry?
Now,
Can you say yes or
According
no
to the
to
GAM,
that?
it would reduce it 8.5%.
According to a model from the
Well
state
within
of
our
Texas.
9%.
a computer model from the state of Texas.
You're saying no, you can't say, or no, it won't make it go dry?
Well, what you have to look at is,
I want to hear what he has to say.
well,
He said no, you cannot say, you can't answer that.
I
No.
cannot guarantee you water in your well. Whether we take over 50 years, 30-foot drawdown, over 50 years, 0 drawdown. I cannot guarantee, because in a drought, if you're at 100 foot and the drought's a big enough drought, your well level may go down to 200 feet. Water's still there, just going to cost about $4,000 or $5,000 to lower your well.
I think it's at least a place to start. It's not perfect, no. I've had people chew me out. Mark, I thought you were conservative. Why did you put the logos? I said, you know what? It was a compromise. You can't have everything one way, you can't have it the other way. Right? Mr. Baker unfortunately wants it all his way. You guys with 0 drawdown, that's 2008 numbers. That means we got to tell some people, you got to give your well up.
The
You can't have
Texas
any
Water
well up.
Development Board will not let us have 0. That is a fact. Because you have exempt people that are coming anyway. At 30 foot, we're pretty much oversold now. At 30 foot, we'll be oversold. There's not that much left. At only 9,000 acre feet over 50 years, if you take all the exempt that could be here in 50 years, it's pretty much gone.